The mining and smithing rework update just released. This is very, very good news. Actually, I think that's subjective. I think lots of people have different feelings about this. I, for one, am very excited about it. Frankly, because I really don't care about the prices. I just want these two skills to feel refreshed. So let's go ahead and read some of the other details. So mining and smithing have been completely reworked so that they're useful and profitable, as well as being a lot more interesting every level. So the most important basics about this is that every level has been reworked. They give us the example of using 85 smithing to make rune equipment, and rune equipment is only tier 50 armor, so that doesn't really make sense. They have fixed it so that tier 50 armor requires 50 smithing and 50 mining, which makes a lot of sense. That's how things should be in the first place. So because of this rework, that meant a lot of the stuff would end at tier 50, so they had to add some new stuff to fill in the gaps all the way to 99. They're introducing tier 60, 70, 80, and 90 armors to fill in these gaps. That is pretty cool. Fortunately, I can't mine any of this stuff, but soon enough we will, so that's good. As far as smithing goes, a lot of things have changed here. The most significant thing you'll notice is that smithing takes a lot longer to do now, which in turn makes them more valuable and also gives them a lot more XP per item. Now, they really wanted to add a little bit of realism to this. They did this by letting you heat your items in the forge, so you can hammer the bar faster and also get faster XP, which is pretty cool. That's a lot like a blacksmith would do. This also has the benefit of letting you choose how active you want to be in this skill. If you want to be completely AFK, you don't have to reheat your items, but if you do, it can be a lot more click intensive with the benefits of more XP. Also, smith items can now be upgraded, which is pretty good. This gives the items a combat benefit boost, and it also gives you faster XP than just making the base item. So this is where it gets pretty cool. So any item you smith gets turned into a useful source of XP too. For example, let's say you make a rune plate body. Once you make this rune plate body, you don't have to sell it. If you have the smithing level for all the upgrades, you can keep upgrading it and get more XP from it. Or if you don't, you can sell it to another player who has it, and then you can get more XP from that rune plate body. So essentially, every smithed item turns into XP now. You can sell all your rune plate bodies if you don't have the level for the upgrades, and some other player will buy all of them and use that XP. On top of this, items that you have fully upgraded can be taken to the Artisan's Workshop. If you don't know where the Artisan's Workshop is, it is in Falador, right across the party room, and you can give this to the dwarves in a special burial ceremony. The ceremony does destroy the item, but it gives faster smithing XP per hour. Also, the Artisan's Workshop has been transformed into a smithing hub, so this is the best place to be at whenever you want to train smithing. They also added a new tier 90 power armor. This is obviously melee armor, which does degrade to broken, and it can be augmented. Now, the beauty of this armor is only truly shown to Ironmen and non-bossers, because they only need mining and smithing to make it. I especially love this feature because it kept the whole community in mind. I really like that. Now let's move over to mining. In essence, getting ore and XP from mining is much the same as before. The only major difference is that ore doesn't deplete anymore. And this is sort of to remove competition. I believe there's new pickaxes for tier 60, 70, 80, and 90. Now, something important to know about the new mining features is that every swing gives you XP, and you'll have a bar over your head that fills up with every swing as well. When that bar fills up, you'll get an ore. Obviously, using better pickaxes and being higher level fills the bar faster and gives you more ore often. Now, like I said before, mining rocks don't deplete anymore. They have given us 3 reasons why this is so beneficial. Number 1, rather than going to a different world whenever you see another player, this means you can mine together in peace. Number 2, you can mine valuable high-level ores now without them vanishing and never being seen again. Don't really know what that means, but that's the reason. And at number 3, you can mine completely AFK if you want to, but that's not very good XP-wise. Other rocks around you will sparkle occasionally, and if you mine that rock, you get a boost to XP and ore progress. So it's a way to reward people if they don't want to AFK. There's also another mechanic which rewards players for clicking every 4 ticks on the rock, but if you really don't want to pay that much attention, you don't have to do it. Moving on to the ease of use of stuff, there's a new container for your inventory called an ore box. You make and upgrade this using smithing, and it can store 100 of every ore to the level you upgraded it to. This ore box is very useful because now you can stay at a mining spot a lot longer than before having to bank. There's also a new bank specifically for mining and smithing. This is called the metal bank. This is where you place all your ores and bars whenever you want to smith, and it'll stay there for as long as you need them to. Also, you can access this metal bank from any forge, furnace, or anvil all around RuneScape. So that's pretty cool. Some other big important changes. So because rune is getting moved to tier 50, they had to lower the alch values for every single rune piece. Otherwise, it'd be a lot of freaking money. They've also replaced all smithable items in the drop tables to something called salvage, and these still retain the same alch values as what they had before. And the last thing they've done is fix every reward and piece of content which ties to mining and smithing, and updated it to fit the new mechanics. So these are all the important changes that come with the mining and smithing rework. I did leave out some intricate stuff, especially with the tier 92 armor, so feel free to read this article, I'll link it down in the description. Now it is time for us to go in game and actually play with this update. So let me go ahead and log in. Alright, before I end the video, I feel like I have to make something very clear about this new update. I think a lot of people are going to be confused with how drop tables work now, and what the purpose of armor and weapons are. So you can view it as this. Essentially, they've kind of repurposed armor and weapons. There are 3 things you can do with weapons and armor now. One purpose is to simply wear it. The second purpose is to use it to train your smithing, because weapons and armor can be upgraded now. And the third purpose would be to trade it. But you're not going to be trading it because people are going to want to dismantle it, so the only reasons people will buy this stuff is purely for smithing XP, because they can upgrade it. Let's say you make a rune plate body, but you don't have the level to upgrade it. But you also don't want it to sit there in your bank. Well, you can make some profit out of it. Someone will buy it that has the smithing level they need to upgrade it, because that'll give them a lot more XP than just making the base version. So those are the new purposes for weapons and armor. Like I said, it's a lot more logical. Weapons and armor should only be associated with smithing. Now the new things you're going to be dismantling and alching are things called salvage. Essentially every smithing related gear in drop tables have been replaced with this. Salvage is tradable. It has the same alch values as before. Now there's all types of salvage. The reason there's all types of salvage is because they have to retain the same alch values that the gear they represent now had before. So now monsters that dropped rune plate bodies will still drop salvage that give the same dismantling items as before and the same coins when you alch it. Now logically this also makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot more sense for a monster to drop salvage than for it to drop a rune plate body. Like, does this monster have 99 smithing or something? Did it use an anvil before they came back to their natural habitat? No, that's stupid. Okay, hopefully that clarifies some things. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.